The Burkina National Electricity Company, SONABEL, recently opened its doors to journalists in an immersive two-day program held on March 27th and 28th, 2025, at the Bobo II power plant and the Kôdeni dispatching station in Bobo II. This initiative was designed to provide a transparent look into the complexities of electricity production, transmission, and distribution in Burkina Faso, particularly during a period of extreme heat that has placed significant strain on the nation's power infrastructure. Journalists from across the country, including Ouagadougou, Bobo II, Banfora, Batie, Dédougou, Diebougou, Gawa, and Orodara, were invited to witness firsthand the challenges and efforts involved in keeping the lights on. The program represents a significant step in SONABEL's commitment to public transparency and engagement, particularly during a time when energy demands are at their peak and the system is under tremendous pressure from both climate conditions and growing consumption needs. The visit began at the Bobo II thermal power plant, where massive generators hummed tirelessly to meet the country's surging electricity demand. The sheer scale of the operation immediately impressed visiting journalists, with the constant roar of machinery serving as a physical reminder of the energy production process. Felix Buraogo, head of technical production at SONABEL's commercial agencies, guided the journalists through the facility, explaining that while the plant has an installed capacity of 69 MW, only 46 MW is currently operational due to aging equipment and ongoing maintenance. This revelation highlighted one of the central challenges facing Burkina Faso's energy sector, the gap between theoretical capacity and actual available power. Our technicians are working around the clock to ensure these machines function optimally, Buraogo emphasized, his voice nearly drowned out by the industrial din. He went on to share ambitious plans for expansion, including a new 26 MW power plant, which will help bolster the country's energy supply in the coming years. These expansion plans come at a critical time, as Burkina Faso's energy needs continue to grow at an estimated 8 to 10% annually, outpacing current production capabilities. One of the most striking aspects of the tour was the visible impact of the heat wave on operations. The plant's interior was sweltering, with temperatures several degrees higher than outside due to the heat generated by the massive engines. Maintenance crews could be seen working in these challenging conditions, their uniforms soaked with sweat as they performed routine checks and repairs. This scene underscored one of the key takeaways from the visit: the critical role of maintenance in sustaining energy production. The scorching temperatures have created a double burden: increasing electricity consumption due to higher use of cooling systems, while simultaneously putting additional stress on the machinery itself. Buraogo explained how extreme heat affects the equipment's performance and lifespan, requiring more frequent maintenance and reducing overall efficiency. He urged the public to support SONABEL's efforts by avoiding activities that could damage electrical infrastructure, such as unauthorized digging near power lines. Safety and reliability go hand in hand, he noted, emphasizing that public cooperation is essential for maintaining consistent power delivery. This message resonated particularly strongly given recent incidents where third-party damage to infrastructure had caused preventable outages. Before touring the Bobo II plant, the journalists visited the Kôdeni dispatching station, a nerve center in Burkina Faso's electricity network that few citizens ever get to see. This facility plays a pivotal role in managing both locally generated power and imported electricity from Côte d'Ivoire, serving as the brain of the national grid. The control room presented a striking contrast to the industrial environment of the power plant. Here, operators monitored a wall-sized digital display showing real-time data flows from across the national network, their faces illuminated by the glow of multiple computer screens. The station's chief engineer explained how transformers at the facility reduce voltage from a staggering 225,000 volts to a more manageable 33,000 volts before distribution to homes and businesses, a process that requires precision engineering and constant monitoring. David Saba, a journalist from Radio Horizon FM in Ouagadougou, found the experience enlightening. "Many people don't realize how much coordination goes into keeping the power running," he remarked. Understanding the difference between a blackout, a total network failure, and load shedding, a controlled reduction to balance supply, was particularly eye-opening. This distinction is crucial for public understanding, as it helps explain why some outages are unavoidable measures to prevent wider system collapse rather than simple service failures. The immersion program also included a screening of a documentary on the Kosodo Est power plant, which provided historical context about Burkina Faso's energy development while highlighting the relentless efforts of SONABEL's teams in maintaining and upgrading the country's energy infrastructure. The film showcased the evolution of power generation in Burkina Faso, from the early days of limited capacity to the current challenges of meeting growing demand. Following the screening, journalists were taken through various sections of the Bobo II facility, including the control room where operators monitor the grid 24/7, their eyes constantly scanning for any fluctuations that might indicate potential problems. The tour then moved to the engine rooms, where both older and newer generators operate side by side, a visual representation of Burkina Faso's energy transition. The old machine center, housing 5 generators installed in 1987, with a combined output of 15 MW, stood in stark contrast to the new center's modern engines, which were installed in 2015 and produce 40 MW. This juxtaposition highlighted both the progress made and the challenges remaining, as the country works to modernize its infrastructure while maintaining older equipment that remains essential to meeting current demand. As the visit concluded, it became increasingly clear that SONABEL is engaged in a constant battle to meet Burkina Faso's growing energy needs. The heatwave has only intensified this challenge, but the company remains committed to minimizing disruptions through rigorous maintenance and strategic expansion. For the journalists present, the experience underscored the importance of public awareness and support in ensuring a stable power supply. Many left with a new appreciation for the complexity of power generation and distribution, as well as the dedication of the technicians and engineers who keep the system running. The program also revealed the financial constraints under which SONABEL operates, with limited resources stretched thin between maintaining aging infrastructure, investing in new capacity, and managing the increased costs associated with climate-related challenges. This financial pressure makes public understanding and cooperation all the more important, as every preventable outage or infrastructure damage represents not just an inconvenience, but a drain on limited resources that could be better spent on system improvements. Before we wrap up this comprehensive look at SONABEL's operations and challenges, I want to take a heartfelt moment to thank each and every one of you, our incredible members and subscribers, for your unwavering support. Your engagement, comments, and encouragement mean the world to us, and are what keep this channel growing and able to bring you these in-depth reports. Seeing your reactions and reading your thoughts in the comments section truly motivates us to dig deeper and bring you the most comprehensive coverage possible. If you've ever enjoyed our content, consider supporting us further with a super thanks. It's a fantastic way to help us continue producing detailed reports like this one. Every bit of support goes a long way in bringing you more quality content, allowing us to invest in better research, equipment, and access to important events like this SONABEL immersion program. Your support enables us to keep the lights on, both literally in our production studio and figuratively in terms of maintaining the quality and depth of our reporting. The challenges faced by SONABEL are not unique to Burkina Faso, but they take on particular urgency in the current context of climate change and rapid urbanization. Across the globe, energy providers are grappling with the dual pressures of rising demand and extreme weather conditions. However, the transparency shown by SONABEL in inviting journalists to witness their operations is a commendable step toward fostering public understanding and collaboration. This kind of openness is particularly important in developing nations where resources are limited and public trust in institutions can be fragile. By demystifying their operations and showing the very human effort behind keeping the lights on, SONABEL is building bridges with the communities it serves. This approach could serve as a model for other public utilities facing similar challenges, demonstrating that transparency can be a powerful tool in managing public expectations and encouraging cooperative behavior. As temperatures continue to climb due to climate change, the need for resilient and adaptive energy solutions becomes even more urgent. SONABEL's planned expansions and maintenance strategies are crucial, but they represent only part of the solution. The role of consumers in using electricity responsibly is equally important, though often overlooked. Simple actions, like reducing unnecessary consumption during peak hours, properly maintaining home electrical systems, or promptly reporting damaged infrastructure, can make a significant difference in overall system stability. Public education campaigns could help spread these messages more effectively, potentially incorporating some of the behind-the-scenes insights gained from programs like this journalist immersion. There's also growing potential for renewable energy solutions to complement traditional thermal generation, particularly solar power given Burkina Faso's abundant sunshine. While large-scale renewable projects require significant investment, even small-scale distributed generation could help relieve pressure on the national grid during peak demand periods. For now, the technicians at Bobo II and the dispatchers at Kôdeni will keep working tirelessly behind the scenes, their efforts largely invisible to the average citizen until something goes wrong. And as we follow their efforts, let's remember that reliable electricity is not just a convenience, but a collective effort requiring understanding and cooperation from all stakeholders, the utility, the government, and the public alike. The challenges are significant, but so too is the commitment of those working to overcome them. Once again, thank you all for being part of this journey with us. If you found this report insightful, don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment below sharing your thoughts or experiences with energy supply in your community. And if you're able, your super thanks will help us keep producing content that illuminates these important issues. Stay tuned for more updates, and until next time, keep staying curious about the complex systems that power our daily lives.